National Chess Master All Rats, continuing a little series on some of the videos for the Team Match, my video lessons group, defeated the Lullaby Vista group, and I'm doing the videos those that submitted where they got at least a point through a win, or 2 wins, or a win and a draw. This fellow had 1 win, 1 loss, so we're going to look at his win. That's at SHDU02. And 421. Okay, so here we have the option of the Grunfeld defense or the King's Indian. Let's see which way it goes. Okay, we got the Grunfeld, and then the exchange variations, and now the main line is E4. Okay, takes. Now let's see, I think C5 comes next, maybe Bishop G7, maybe it matters, maybe it doesn't. Okay, C5 looks right. So, White's got an interesting position here. Usually, Bishop C4 is the main line. White can play knight f3, but it often runs an annoying pin. But you can't have the bishop on c4 and the knight on f3. If you're going to play knight f3, you need to play bishop e2. It has to do with the counterplay that black gets against d4. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so knight e2. Now this avoids the pin. Just for the fun, let's take a quick look at that. Okay, what can black do? Well, he's going to pin. Okay, now what does white do? Okay, for instance, if white castles, we have a problem. Okay, see, you take with the queen, and black is on this twice. Okay, oh wait a minute, we're down here. Let's see, I've got to do this correctly. Okay, well, shows you what I don't know about somebody's opening. Let's castle first. Now there's pressure here. It's attacked 3 times, it's only protected once. Protecting the bishop e3 isn't enough. Or is it? Let's see. You step into a pin. Knight c6. Okay, now the idea is to bring the queen to b6. White's fighting here too. Let's see, we can pin again, but this is going nowhere. Let's see. Well, maybe this. No, we have e5. Okay, and black just a healthy pawn ahead. So, knight e2 is the correct move. Black just gets too much activity with bishop g4. Now bishop g4 is met by f3. Okay, so he castles. And, now d4 is firmly in white's control. And there's some lines where white sacks the exchange with d5. Not sure if we're there yet. Maybe the bishop has to develop first. Okay, so let's see. Now he's probably going to play f3 because there's a lot of pressure on d4. Okay, so f3. And now we have a counterattack. And I've seen a line like this. I recall back around 1990, 1992, there was some new novelty. I mean, that's not the novelty, but if white plays it correctly, he can get a clear advantage. And I was watching a friend play against a game where black played right into it, and white could have gotten an edge. And my friend didn't know the line, and apparently neither did black. And I never got a chance to play white against the black player and show him what was wrong with his ways, but I don't quite recall it. I'm sure that here we have a case, both players are bright enough to look the opening up, okay? And that's your goal in correspondence chess. Look up the opening. Then of course, when you get out of the opening, you're analyzing your games. And, you're also analyzing when you're looking at the opening because you're trying to look at different lines and pick which one you want. So right now, white has control of the center. Black has an outside queenside pawn majority. That happens in this opening. Bishop e6. Okay, he's fighting for c4. It's a key square for black in this opening. This contests c4. Now maybe black is going to play rook c8. He's trying to drop something in here. Let's see what he does. He plays a6. Okay, so maybe the idea here is to chase the queen out because so the queen may not control c4. Well, we'll see what happens. Okay, so I wouldn't necessarily put that rook there. Why? Well, it's a case of rooks. There's an expression, right rook or wrong rook. You can put either rook there. How do you make a selection like that? Now again, this could be theory. I don't know. That's your job to look it up if you're going to play this line. But the reason for putting this rook here instead would be that we keep these files open for the other rook. Okay, if you bring this rook here, you can only use these files at a loss of tempo. Okay, so that's the logic. I mean, it's certainly a perfectly good move. For what it's worth, we're also protecting this pawn. Now the queen still guards it, but that queen can vanish here in a heartbeat. Okay, there she goes. Where's she going to go? If you go to b4, you might drop this pawn, although there's a trick. Attack the bishop and uncover an attack on this. They should call that a skewer or a pin. Take your pick. They're both bishop and knight work the same. Queen 8, Queen A3. Okay. Now maybe a drawback with this move is that maybe black is going to find some way to try to get b4 in. So if you select, here's three candidate moves. Queen b6 would be met by d. No, you can't play d5. This hangs. Let's see what black does. He just goes in directly for c4. That was his intention all along. And white's got a little problem here. He might be dropping the bishop pair. Queen needs to guard the bishop. Or take that. So there's the bishop pair. Okay. Knight is pinned, unprotected. Had this rook been on d1, we could now be moving this knight. So it goes here. Okay, so maybe black is slightly better simply because of the two bishops. Now we're threatening to win a piece. Okay. And now black activates his queenside pawn majority. Black's looking pretty good here. Not too sure about this move. Okay, why am I not sure about that move? Well, it just creates weaknesses, okay? Although, let's see. Okay, this becomes weaker, although it's protected. Now, black owns this diagonal. White doesn't have a light-squared bishop. It's on the opposite color of this bishop, so and white's bishop. So white's bishop doesn't really have too many targets here. It could be a playable move. It just doesn't smell right. What else could black do here? Well, one of my rules is if you're not sure what to do, develop a piece. Okay, you might consider a move like this attacking the pawn, except it unprotects this pawn. Queen b6 is no longer, this is playable. So did the rook go to the long square? Or if we put the rook here with the idea of just trying to get a passed pawn, and we can afford to push because this isn't under pressure. Queen c7 might be a move, and white can pin, but doesn't have anything to quickly attack that. So f5 could work, and it might not. Okay, now that takes some of the pressure off d4. Gives black a great square here. He doesn't want it. So here black's advancing this pawn, figuring he can get this in at some point. Maybe the rook slides over, the bishop backs up, and we got some pressure here. And here white seeks to trade off that bishop. Then it can't attack this pawn. Okay, kind of forcing the issue on the bishop. But queen's a little pressure, and knight doesn't trade. So, black better be careful. That queen's going to be a goner. It might be a goner already. Yeah, look at this. Where are you going to put the queen? Queen's running into trouble. So apparently black just blundered the game away with queen h4. Let's see. What else can black do here? Well, this move just begs to be played. Okay, it's a nice central location of the queen, although it could be chased out. I'm trying to connect these rooks. The other choice might be to let's play here and attack the rook. Okay, now let's see. Come over here. Now, queen could come here. Well, that was an unsafe square earlier, but the rooks are connected. Now, black may even have an interesting exchange sacrifice in the offing. The idea being that he'll have two bishops against none, and white's got an extra knight, and then the d4 pawn comes under fire, and then we can put some more pressure on a3 maybe. I mean, now white has resources here, of course. Let's just trade the bishop, okay, get that over and done with. Okay, now white's knight certainly looks better. This bishop really has no target. It's g2. How are you going to attack that? Probably not. Let's see. What's happening here? White to play. Maybe we could generate something with a pawn sacrifice. You know, the idea rook takes, pawn takes, queen takes. We get a queen check in, but you don't really have enough to follow up here. Let's put a little pressure on e6. Let's play this. Now we'd like to try to get d5 in at an opportune time. You know, although we have to break the pin. I don't know. Black's looking okay here. Let's see. Now the idea is to double. Okay, let's trade it off. Bishop comes here. Now we go d. Still can't go d5, so let's put the king in the corner, although we have to decentralize it to do so. Now that stops d5. I think, let's see, d5 takes. Yeah, and black is doing fine. So you know, black certainly didn't have to get a lost game here. Against this queen trap with queen h4. So just an oversight, probably from moving too quick. Now bishop g5 and c24. Where is it? Where's it here in the notes? Let's see, is it queen h4? Oh, here it is. Okay. Now he doesn't play that because it's going to get trapped. He plays bishop takes. Okay, now take the queen, and black just didn't get enough. He's given up his queen for a rook. This is deadly. So, white just activates his queen and bears down on the black king. There goes a pawn. Game over. White's going to win this. Well, good game for white. You found the flaw in his plan. That was a tough fight. Okay, thanks so much.